Good morning, students. Today we are going to discuss certain topics in principles and practices of crop production. And this is actually the second topic we are going to discuss in your course outcome 2. Okay, so what crop establishment procedures we are having, so that we are going to discuss. So what are the main field preparations? We discussed what is tillage and every concept we have discussed in the last video. Now we are discussing what are the main field preparations required. So plowing is required. Okay, we can do it with iron plow, and certain plants they don't need fine tilt. Okay, so in order to overcome the subsoil hot pan, what will happen? Actually, we have to chisel it at 0.5 meter intervals or the depth of 40 centimeters. Okay, and then we have to go on for disc plowing once and by cultivator plowing twice in order to improve the yield. Okay, and also what happens is this has to be sorghum has to be succeeded by black gram, and you can also apply FYM, in the sense manure, and 100% recommend nitrogen can also be followed. Okay, chiseling has to be done every year. This is main topic. And next one is formation of ridges and furrows. Okay, how it has to be a ridge. This ridges and furrows it has to be formed with the help of a ridger. The length should be at least 6 meters and they have to be 45 centimeters apart. Okay, and these irrigation channels has to be formed across the furrows and form bed size of 10 meter and into 20 meters into 2 has to be made, depends on the availability of water. Normally when you take it, as spacing is very important, right? So if we are not maintaining the appropriate spacing, then you'll have to face the consequences, right? And 40 degree Fahrenheit is a normal optimal temperatures, right? So seed quantities, feed seedling rate, common row spacing. For the root vegetables we can go for the common row spacings. Okay, so what happens here is actually plant seeds has to be quarter or 1/3 inches deep in rows, and they can be spaced 12 to 24 inches apart. And how to make a seed bed, that is very essential, right? Seed bed, what you can make a plot of 2.5 meter breadth. The channels can be 30 centimeter wide across the seed bed. Length can be varying from 8 to 10 meters, right? Collect the puddle soil from the channel and you're spreading over the seed bed, and you'll have to level the surface, and you can have a dry nursery. So you'll have to make it as a fine tilt, and nursery area with sand and loamy soil status will be more suitable. You can have area 20 cents is at least required, and each plot has to be 1 to 1.5 meter width. Length depends on our requirement. And next one is earthing up. What it is actually earthing up is provides what it is actually is. It is used for providing minimum for the pig development. Okay, you can use with the help of hoe or the long handle. Okay, so we shouldn't disturb the soil after 45th day of sowing. So what are the types of sowing? You know very well. When the containers or beds or boxes can be stored with broadcasting, that you would have seen in many even cinemas, or otherwise in advertisements you would have seen. Okay, broadcasting without any you don't measure everything, so just sowing it. And depth is actually seeds are sown at a depth of nearly 1 to 3 times of the diameter. Okay, so this is done to ensure that adequate moisture and optimal temperature is required. So what will happen if you are sowing it very deep, then there will be it will impair the seedling emergence also. Okay, and small seeds like eucalyptus or mixed with fine soil before sowing to facilitate uniform distribution of soil, and otherwise the seed also will be wasted. Okay, so these are being done in order to get a very good yield. Nursery, what it is actually nursery? We know very well, nursery is a place where seedlings are raised for planting purpose, right? So nursery seedlings have to be have to be better survival than seeds. What happens, why you go for saplings? They'll be surviving in case of any temperature variations also, and compared with seed. Okay, nurseries can be temporary nurseries, so it can be near the planting site. You would have fixed the planting site, then you will have a nursery. Permanent nurseries can be small or large depending upon the objectives, and you can have nearly 1 lakh seedling also at a time in the permanent nurseries. and nursery areas can be nearly 20 cents, and nursery bed preparation has to be assured a water supply and 1 ton of FYM. Okay, then it should be irrigated, it should be paddled twice, and basal application of TAP 40 gram is being recommended. Okay, when the seedlings are to be pulled out in 20 to 25 days after leveling and final pudding beds of convenient length. What you are going to making it of leaving to 30 to 50 centimeter channel between two beds. So sow the sprouted seeds uniformly in the seed bed. So these are the preparations, or these are the work that has to be made for nursery bed. Thank you all once again. Thank you all. Okay, so we have discussed about the important topics in the crop establishment. Thank you all.